Hi everyone, so if you are moving to Amsterdam from a country that doesn't have a lot of bicycles, it doesn't have that kind of infrastructure, it can be quite daunting understanding bicycle paths for the first time. I know that when I first arrived here, visually there was just so much to take in, and especially as a beginner cyclist, it can be a little bit tricky. So I want to give you the heads up on bicycle path color, type, etiquette, other vehicles, markings on the road, and signaling. So let's jump into this. Color. So not all bicycle paths are the same color. Don't make the same mistake that I made. When I first got here, the first bicycle path I saw was this bright red, and I assumed that all bicycle paths were that color, and I ended up walking into some bicycle paths, and I'll be talking about this later. That is a big no-no. Some will have a red or black asphalt, so it will be like a smooth surface, and with the red in particular, this can be a bright red or a more faded red, depending on how old the path is. And you might also see the type of path that has been paved with blocks type. So the width of cycle paths will vary. Some will feel more narrow, others will feel wider, and depending on what you have around you. So if you have a lot of pedestrians or a lot of parked cars, this can also affect how wide the path feels. Some paths are also bi-directional, so there will be two lanes and bicycles can go in either direction. You also have bicycle lanes, and this is where you are not physically separated from vehicles and you're essentially riding alongside the traffic. Etiquette. So first thing I should really say is that you should be cycling on the right hand side of the road. And let's talk about overtaking, because this really surprised me, and it still surprises me today. Even in a single width bicycle path, and you think there's not that much room, people can still overtake you, and they will overtake you. I never think there is enough room to overtake me, but they find that room. People here have great spatial awareness, and they don't hit me or anything, they just go by, and I am always amazed at this. Sometimes they ring their bell, but most of the time they don't ring the bell. They will just glide past me, and I just think, wow, how did you do that? So it is best to cycle on the right hand side of your path. Obviously give yourself enough room, don't run yourself into the curb. Oh my god, the curb. But you have to be mindful that people will definitely overtake you. So as a pedestrian, do not walk in the cycle path when you have the option of a pavement or a footpath. Yes, on the very, very rare occasion, you have to walk in the cycle path because that's the safest thing to do, but that hardly ever happens. So don't walk in the bicycle path because people will get really annoyed at you, and some people ride really fast, and not to mention it's not safe to do that as well. I'm just gonna pause for a moment, and if you are enjoying this video, please could you hit that like button, as it will really help this channel grow. Thank you so much. Markings on the road. So sometimes you'll see a stencil bicycle image on the road, and this will indicate the direction that you should be cycling in. You may also see a line of small triangles, and this is also known as shark teeth. And basically this is a give way or a yield sign. So the way to remember it is thinking about them as teeth. If the teeth are biting into you, so the pointy bits are pointing towards you, then you need to give way. Signaling. So you should definitely signal regardless of whether you're riding on a bicycle path or lane. I just thought I would talk about this here because it's really important. Just like you use your indicator in a car, you need to do something when you're cycling. And so if you are turning right, the thing to do is to stick out your arm horizontally, and the same thing goes for turning left. It's also worth looking before signaling so that you don't stick your arm out and hit someone in the face, which would be really bad. So I know that there are a lot of far more experienced cyclists who watch this channel, and I am always grateful for your comments and insights on cycling here. One question that I did have for you is, what is the hand signal for telling other people that you're going to stop? Because if you like do the normal sticking your arm out, they may think that you're going to turn further up ahead. So what do you do when you want to stop? And I have watched other videos from other countries, and they say that the signal to stop is either, raising your arm up like you're in the classroom, doing something like this to say that you're slowing down. And then there was like the backward 7, which I thought was a very funny description, backward 7. So yeah, those are apparently signals to alert people that you're stopping, but I have never seen those signals being used here. So is there anything that you do here to alert people? Please let me know in the comments below. I would be very interested to know. And if you're wondering what it's like riding as a beginner cyclist in Amsterdam, then definitely check out this video here. Other than that, thank you so much for watching. Until next time, goodbye.